Oh my God, it's all gone. It's all gone. We were supposed to visit MachineWise. We were supposed to see Dalen. What happened to Dalen?
Hey, Will, over here.
Oh, hi, Dalen.
What's going on?
All right, well, here we are.
Welcome.
Thank you. This is so exciting. So, for those of you that don't know, MachineWise is a very cool company that makes what? Balisongs, folding knives, a pen sometimes?
Yes. Yep.
They make some of the most precise and incredible products I have ever seen, and genuinely some of my favorite balisongs of all time. And so today we have the very exciting opportunity. Dalen has given us unfettered access to the entirety of MachineWise, and we're gonna learn how something goes from a single block of metal into a beautiful balisong or an incredible folding knife. There is so much to learn about here. I am so excited for this journey. And last time we visited you was what, 2 whole years ago?
On the dot almost, yeah.
Oh my gosh. So we're gonna be having a video series, so make sure you stay tuned. Today we're gonna start by going over this facility, everything that has changed, and a whole rundown of everything that makes MachineWise what it is today. In the future, we're gonna be going through every single part of the process, from the actual milling and machining to the finishing of all the parts. We're gonna learn about anodization, which I am especially excited for.
Okay, pull it, pull it, pull it. Shit.
Okay. Oh man, I love how bad I am at this.
Ooh.
And then we're gonna learn how it all comes together in assembly and how these parts become the beautiful products that you can buy, especially if you use our discount link, machinewise.willhirsch.gang. But that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and take a look at this incredible facility. And I guess, Dalen, we should start up here. I mean, I haven't seen this place. What's going on?
Yeah, so up here is the what we call front shop.
Sure.
Yep.
We've got, this looks like assembly.
So we have our 3 assembly stations over here on the right.
Okay.
Yep.
And then over here we have what? I see the 3D printers, that's for the packaging?
Yes, so that's where we print all of our packaging here. We do fulfillment and shipping as well from here, and we store a lot of our finished parts and do our fiber laser engraving as well.
Gotcha. So is it kind of laid out the same as last time, where like all of the stuff sort of starts in the back and then ends up here?
Yeah, it is actually.
Very cool. There just happens to be more rooms.
Yes, a lot more rooms.
And I guess more room
and rooms.
Okay, so what else do we have back here?
Yeah, so coming down this way, we have our office here.
You have an actual office this time.
I do, I have a desk even.
What an upgrade.
I know, right?
Holy cow. Okay, so then back this way, this store looks quite important.
Yeah, so this is the dirt room.
What is the dirt room?
The dirt room is where we keep all of our dirty processes like tumbling, grinding, sharpening, keeps all the dust and like grit out of the clean environment.
That makes a lot of sense, because last time that just happened in the one room.
Yeah, the whole shop.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then bathroom, I guess?
Yes, big bathroom with a shower.
Ooh, a shower. Oh, I see the anodization station as per usual.
Yep, so in here is our break room, break table, and also where we do all of our anodize.
Awesome. Okay, and then is this where the magic happens?
This is my personal favorite room, yes. Of all the doors in this company, that one I like the most.
All right, Dalen, lead the way.
Please join.
Holy moly, dude. This is some craziness. Oh, well, hi, Martine. How are you doing, man?
Doing great.
Nice to see you. This is way larger than it was before.
Oh yeah.
This is like at least, what, twice the size of just the one room you guys were in?
Well, you know, the old shop fits in this shop.
Man, this is crazy. Okay, so where are we gonna get started?
Well, I actually have a table set up over there with a lot of cool demo stuff that we can talk through the design and history of MachineWise.
That sounds freaking amazing. Thank you
Let's do
so
it.
much. All right, Dalen. Yep. Appreciate you, man. Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right, so you have set up quite the smorgasbord for me here.
So I was thinking we could have a layout of a lot of the parts we do here at MachineWise and some of the products we make. And well, I just want you to explore and ask me some questions.
So let's start on the top level here. You've had a lot of an effect on MachineWise, both in terms of the product design itself, but I mean, literally this space as a whole. When you initially came to MachineWise, what was your job at that point?
Well, you know, it's really interesting. I initially came to MachineWise as a after hours kind of thing. So
really?
I was working at another job and I came to MachineWise just to give Dalen some help. So I actually started as an assembly tech with MachineWise.
And now you're the president.
Yeah, started from the bottom.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
I have an undergraduate and graduate degree in mechanical engineering, and
Right.
I've been in product design for a really long time at this point, as long as a 27-year-old can be. Was working on the products and couldn't help myself but open my big mouth and tell Dalen, well, what if we did this way? Maybe a folder. You know what would be really cool? Well, we want to make our own hardware, but we don't have really enough hardware to justify a lathe. So let's make a pen. And so it was these conversations that evolved into then doing product design and being a mechanical engineer here, a lot of process engineering, and eventually becoming the president and running the company.
So you found your way in as from assembly tech to then becoming the president of MachineWise through Dalen's need to sort of escape the pressures of being the guy that created the whole thing. What has your sort of vision and intention been coming in as somebody who can help like shape MachineWise and direct it?
If you have that mindset where you want to improve a process, right?
Yeah.
What we have now is never good enough. And that isn't to say like we're trying to push the boulder up the mountain at all times and it's a fruitless cause. The idea is that today is good, but we can always be better. It's that improvement mindset. You can take our old space as an example. We had fit machines in, but it was like fitting in a puzzle or fitting the Tetris piece.
I remember the little garage kind of situation that y'all were dealing with. The prison bars, if y'all remember that.
Yeah, and so that space, while it was awesome, it wasn't the most efficient space.
Yeah.
So you can see now we're much more open here.
I've noticed there seems to be a level of intentionality to where every individual piece is placed.
Well, and you see, that's the really cool opportunity you get each time you move and you move into a new space, is that it is a blank slate and you can approach it with the things you know you're gonna put into the space. With this space, we had the opportunity to have an empty floor plan and say, all right, well, we think the machine should go here and this should go here. Do we actually like that? Maybe we should flip them. So you can approach it with exactly what you said, intentionality. Just like we design our products, we worked in Fusion. And
so you like CAD'd out the space and like...
Exactly, yeah. So I'm an engineer, so I know how to use Fusion. So we made a whole model of the space, made little models of every machine, a little person, and we started putting things around.
You did the little people.
And we designed the space for the flow.
What have you done in terms of designing the products to be even better?
Each product is its own endeavor. They all speak to an idea. And the idea with MachineWise is that we're trying to build products that desire or deserve to be in your pocket, and even more so in your hands.
I can very much see that. The moment Dalen sent me this era, and I opened it once, and we talked about it in the video, I was immediately like, oh, it's the best sound I've ever heard. Oh! Like I had never experienced a balisong like that before. And that level of machining quality, but also just the attention to detail and the sound. Then like the textures on here, all of that makes me want to flip it.
A MachineWise product, I can't help but pull it off this table. And I want to handle it, I want to feel it, feel the textures, feel the weight in my hand and the action and the sound, and all the things that inspire me to not only have it, but put it in my pocket. And then as I'm going through my day, I can't help myself but pull it out. That inspiration really comes from balisongs. Everyone here can't help but be at a machine and be flipping a balisong.
Yeah.
If there's downtime, it's in your hand, you're enjoying it. Even in our pen, the pen had to have a mechanism where you want to play with this. You just can't help yourself but sit there and be like, oh, I'm really thinking about this. Oh man, everyone must hate me. I'm being real annoying. I don't care, this is super fun. That carries through all of our products.
Where do we go from there in terms of the story of MachineWise and what you've got going on this table?
We actually have a divergence towards two new products. So this was our attempt to get into a whole new field and do it twice in a row. First, from the Serif, we have the Rota. And what the Rota was largely justified as a way to buy our lathe, because what we really needed from the lathe was hardware.
I love that the pen, it wasn't to make a pen necessarily, but it was just to buy that thing.
Exactly.
That's so wonderful. For me, the Rota is extremely interesting because Brandon was the one that actually got it and did some product photography and stuff like that. And during that process, I got to handle it. And I was very excited because, I mean, I've been a pen nerd for a good part of my life, and getting to handle this thing, I was immediately like, oh, this is so satisfying. This is such a good action, and it feels like a MachineWise product somehow.
It is in going from the Serif to the Rota that we started to define our product ethos, and that is excellent machining, fidget factor.
Fidget factor is important.
And also textures. And then the final part is that this actually has to be a good pen.
Right.
We're not gonna do all those things
and then have a bad
and then have a bad pen. So all of our products also have to meet that requirement of use. You're not gonna take this around if it's not a good writing instrument, right?
Yeah.
But if it can do all those other things and be a good writing instrument, then it's a MachineWise product.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, because like in terms of design, there's just some stuff that stands out about this immediately that makes me think, oh yeah, that reminds me of other MachineWise products.
It is the requirement or the moral obligation of myself to come in and first learn what MachineWise is, grow an understanding through conversations with Dalen and interacting with all of our old products and new to figure out, okay, what are the pieces that make a MachineWise product a MachineWise product? And then design while also bringing my fresh perspective into it. And so it is the highest praise for me when we release a product and it's something new and a customer tells me, yeah, this feels like it's a MachineWise product.
That's awesome.
But my first foray into Balisongs was actually twofold. So we have my first blade design that I did for MachineWise, and this was our leaf blade.
I really did like the leaf blade. I think it's a very, very cool
And
design.
it's something, we really like it. It's balanced awesome. We're in this nebulous time when we launched it. And then my first foray into true textures for ballies. So instead of designing a bally from the ground up, I cooked up a diamond texture for the Opus.
That texture is so sick. I really like the diamond textured Opus.
That's the only one.
This is the only one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so this never even reached production. This texture fits the design of the Opus extremely well and just feels really nice in the hand, so I would be in full support of that.
Awesome.
In terms of your influence in the company and where your vision for MachineWise has sort of taken it, especially with a facility like this, was getting into folders.
Folders are a really interesting thing. We all at MachineWise carry balisongs every day, but we like to flip balisongs and we're not super nice to them. So you drop them a lot. That means they don't stay sharp for very long. We then designed a pen. We're like, well, we have two parts of our EDC, your everyday carry. You have your bally, and you have something to write with and take notes. But now I need something sharp, because my bally is always dull. So we were like, well, I want to replace all the other things in my pocket with MachineWise products. So you have a bally, a pen, and now you needed a folding knife. And that's where the Sonora started. Why carry someone else's knife when you can make it yourself?
Exactly.
Right.
So I think for me, the Sonora was a really, really cool moment, especially when I got to experience it for the first time at Blade Show last year.
Right.
Push that in it. Oh, it's so smooth. Bushings.
Yeah. I'm gonna be totally honest. When I first heard that MachineWise was making folding knives, I had two major thoughts.
Yeah.
Number one being, oh God, I sure hope they don't stop making balisongs. And then the second thought was like, I hope they do a good job here.
Very fair, true.
And so both of those things thankfully came to, a head when we actually got to talk to you at Blade Show last year, and I had both, oh yeah, we're not gonna stop making balisongs.
Absolutely not.
Thank God for you guys for that. But also, I got to touch one of these for the first time, and I suddenly realized, like it all hit me all at once in the way that like it does in Ratatouille. When I flicked it open, and I felt nothing. This thing moves like it is on glass.
Yeah.
Like it is on a beautiful, slippery piece of ice. This is the most incredible action
Thank you.
I have felt on any folding knife ever. At that moment, for me at least, I immediately saw the vision and I was like, oh, this is actually special.
Yeah.
Like this isn't just you guys doing something to do it. This is because you thought you could make something important. Why did you design this the way you did?
I think a commonality in design is that I'm designing products for myself.
Yeah.
And that's where the passion comes from. The Sonora started as, well, what is the folding knife I want to carry?
The vision of this product, in my opinion, is very clear. It feels like something that is well thought out through and through. The blade matches the handle extremely well. Every single part of it feels fully thought out and like something that somebody wanted to have.
The balisong is one of the easiest knives to carry. Well, our folding knife had to be the same way. It had to be a product that disappears in the pocket, but when you want it, it's there, it's easy to use, and it wants to be in hand. You want to be playing with the Sonora. It's asking for it, right? That is the real inspiration behind this, is what is a folding knife that I can put in my pocket every day, enjoy, carry, that complements a balisong. It doesn't replace. We wanted something that was very MachineWise. That's where the idea for Integral came from, is, well, what is the hardest folding knife to make?
Aha!
An Integral.
Of course.
The Integral choice was actually Dalen's inspiration, where he gave me a mission. He said, all right, if we're gonna make a folding knife, it has to be integral because I want the challenge.
Yep.
And it needs to be extremely fidgety because I want to have it in my pocket.
Awesome.
We made a knife that isn't too small. It's the right size to fill out the hand and do a good task.
Yep.
Coming from the balisong world where we drop our knives all the time, well, our first folder needs a strong tip. I really like to try and fit as much blade into the handles as possible. I like fixed blade proportions. That's something that a balisong really achieves, where you have this, granted, really big knife. And so the Sonora had to carry on that feeling of, this looks like a big knife, but it doesn't carry like a big knife.
Right. I really love the machine texture on this. So there's a fine step, there's a diamond pattern, like each one of these textures has a unique sort of feel to it.
Oh yeah.
The action, for me, is something that is just incredible. I know this runs on bushings like a balisong.
We knew if we were gonna do our first folder, we had to do something that was very balisong inspired. This was a non-negotiable between Dalen and I, that our first folder had to be on bushings. We had all this experience built up over years of making balisongs and doing amazing tunes. Why just go over to bearings all of a sudden if we have this experience in doing bushings? Instead of rejecting our past as a balisong company, let's accept it and say, you know what, we really like these things, we're really good at them.
I really like that. The Sonora has been such an interesting thing for me, and especially as y'all's first foray into this sort of world, completely genuinely, I'm not that interested in folding knives at the end of the day. And yet, I want one of these.
Thank you.
This is the folding knife, at least currently, that I can think of that is my favorite. Nothing feels like this. Nothing has the sort of story that this does, at least for me. And so I think this is an incredible entry into that space. You guys then pivoted once more and created a whole new idea for balisongs as well.
With our balisongs, the Marin started this long MachineWise handle form factor.
Sure.
The longer handles are slim, and they carry in fans really well.
Right.
We love to try out knives from other companies and see what we like, and really always check our beliefs and see, are we doing the best we could be doing? The Ori models was a answer to that question of, well, what would it look like if MachineWise made a standard balisong?
Right, with the shorter handle length and sort of like closer to what the sort of industry standard was.
So the Ori platform was really this attempt at keeping MachineWise character, but making something that you could see on the competitive bally stage.
The Sasori and the Totori are both incredibly cool. I really like the Sasori, this sort of internal texture milling.
Thank you. Yeah.
That is so freaking cool to me, and I really love the way that it was implemented here. But the Totori really stands out to me as a unique product that carries the bones of MachineWise and yet has its own sort of flavor that is just incredible and unique and special. There's so much to it, from the incredible texture milling that you said is inspired by the Totori sand dunes.
Yeah, in Japan.
That's so cool. And then on top of that, the blade profile here is just astounding.
With the Sonora, we started this desert theme to naming products.
Right.
Dalen and I were doing a little bit of research on different blade shapes, and we wanted something that was compound ground because we wanted a hollow and then a flat ground tip. We wanted the tanto. We thought a swedge would look really cool. And so this blade started to get born, and it had a really Japanese aesthetic to it.
Right.
So we finally were like, all right, well, are there any deserts in Japan? The answer is no, but there is a couple square mile section of sand dunes. Well, dunes are a pretty cool texture, and then the Totori texture was born from this random Google search of a desert in Japan, and the Sasori, well, that's scorpion in Japanese.
Okay.
So also in that desert theming. The trainer blade was really inspired by a desire from Dalen to make a more premium blade at a still affordable price point. If you recall the Prisma trainer blade that was also used on the Seraph and the Opus, and really across the Marin line, that blade, it really isn't the prettiest thing, and it's been a product that Dalen never really loved. And so with the Ori platform, we wanted to come out with a trainer blade that was truly representative of MachineWise quality and standards.
This does truthfully stand above and beyond sort of what the trainer blades were previously. What is the future of MachineWise looking like from this point?
Our newest product is the Mohave. This is actually my scrap Mohave, and here we have several of my personal products. But the Mohave is our answer to the question of, can MachineWise compete on a level playing field? The Sonora was inspired by Balisongs and built from our Balisong foundation. Sure. This truly is a cross of folding knives and Balisongs together. The Mohave is our answer to, well, what does a true, from the ground up, 100% bona fide MachineWise folder look like? And the idea with it is to compete with folding companies on that level playing field. We're using bearings. It is a frame lock. This is a premium titanium folding knife with a sandwich construction. And we're doing this to say, hey, everyone else who makes a knife with this same specifications, well, can you do it this good?
I love that. I'm not super intimately familiar with frame locks in the first place. Button lock is kind of my preferred method. It's just a little more fidgety in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to try this here.
There you go.
Aha. Oh wow, the action of that is extremely nice. And you said this is a scrap one?
Yeah, so this is assembled from all reject parts.
Wow, I guess that's a great question to ask. I've noticed you guys have a pretty strict QC process here.
We do. This is all made from parts that are the scrap of the scrap.
Okay.
So there is blemming a part, which is when a part gets like a scratch in it, right?
Okay.
And a lot of times that part can be saved through quite a bit of hand finishing, right?
Sure.
And maybe occasionally we'll sell those at a steep discount. Scrap parts are parts that can't be saved, and we would never be okay with this going to a customer. So this Mohave will never have the true action that a Mohave could have because of incorrect tolerances within it. This Mohave has a blown out pivot hole, so it has a bunch of lash, right? So this Mohave could never go to a customer, but it's still sharp, it still cuts, so I'm happy to carry it around all the time.
I think it really speaks to the level of intentionality and perfectionism that you guys have in every product you create. It's incredible the sort of level that you guys hold yourselves to.
That's all built on the foundation that Dalen set. Dalen is a no-compromise machinist. Dalen expects every product to come off the machine as best as it can off the machine. We do hand finishing. It has to go through those final steps and going through all the hands in the shop, but it needs to be the best it can be. And if it has a problem, that has to be acknowledged.
For me, I think my first experience with that no compromises mindset was the Seraph, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when I first got it, I had this moment of, oh, this is the best balisong, at least in terms of machining quality, that I have ever touched.
Absolutely.
What I really like about MachineWise and the way that it's continued into the future, going from this literally Dalen's garage to something that was basically a garage to something that is now a fully built out, real, full-on production warehouse. This place is so professional, it is mind-blowing to me. I can see that mindset continuously dragged into the future and implemented on every single product, from the Rhoda to the Sonora and now the Mohave. Every single one of these products is held to an incredible standard that boggles my mind.
Yeah, and it's something where we're always improving. The Mohave you see today will not be the Mohave you see tomorrow. Yes, it'll have the same design. Yes, it'll have the same aesthetic, but the Mohave of tomorrow will be made better. And we're always looking for that next step in improvement. Where we start with is the feedback internally. So as assemblies going through and putting together a product, maybe they're having to do a lot of hand fitting on the lock bar. And that's just really annoying. They're having to really tune this in and really dial in the fit of this particular hole. It takes a lot of lapping to get a bushing to fit right in a Seraph.
Right.
So we talk between assembly and finishing and machining to see, all right, well, can we change that on the machine to make these parts fit together better? with less work. And then when the products go out to the end user, that end user is gonna be the most abusive on them of anybody out there. We are only 10 people here that can lay hands on this product. When you put it out into the world, that's 10, 20, 100x the number of people who are seeing it and handling that product.
Right.
And so the willingness to hear what those people are saying and then act on it is extremely important.
There seems to be a real deep focus on making sure that every step of the process, people can say, hey, I've noticed a problem, or hey, I have an idea.
The problem we have identified with making a big batch of products is you're now committed to that batch.
Right.
So if you make 1,000 blades, you either throw away 1,000 blades or you figure out how to make those 1,000 blades work when there's a problem. If you're making stuff daily and assembling them daily, you have the chance every day to make a change. The parts that are machined this week will be assembled next week. And so in that 1 week, we can see, all right, well, we made this adjustment, give us feedback on this adjustment, and we can change it for the next week. It all starts with the team. It's the willingness to come in every day and face these challenges and assemble product and get this stuff out to people. And so if we don't take care of our team, well, it all falls apart.
I think it's been just incredible to me to watch MachineWise go from a jail cell with like 3 people in it to a massive facility that has, what, 10 employees now?
Yeah.
That is incredible. The amount of growth that you guys have had in such a short period of time, while it is insane to me, it also seems like it's been very well executed and very well planned for. So I am just incredibly excited about the future for you.
Well, I'm glad it appears that way.
Martin, thank you so much for showing me all of this sort of internal, in-depth knowledge about both what has happened for you and your process with MachineWise, but also MachineWise as a whole. I'd really love to learn how this stuff is actually made, because we've talked about, obviously, all these individual elements, but we have just bars of titanium over here that eventually become beautiful serif handles. Here at MachineWise, we are starting a journey. This is the first video in a series where we're gonna deep dive into each step of the process, going from raw titanium, raw steel blade blanks, into final finished products, and then taking all of those pieces, assembling them together, and sending them out the door so that they can be in your pocket. And you can get them at a nice discount if you use our affiliate code, machinewise.willhirsch.gay. But that is going to be what's going on here. Make sure to stay tuned for all of these upcoming videos, because I am about to be taken on a journey through this facility and learn everything that you guys have to teach me. So thank you so much, Martin, for walking me through sort of the opening of this process and everything you have. And I'll see you later.
I think it's time I start designing the next product. The incantation's about to start.
Oh my God, he's gonna do something crazy.